Welcome to Movie Speeching. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take good care. The Kid Who Would Be King is the name of the movie. Please like and subscribe to get every update. The film begins with a wizard named Merlin recounting the story of King Arthur after King Pendragon's death. England has fallen into war with people vying for power. The chaos has no end. Merlin created Excalibur, a sword to find the person worthy of becoming King Arthur. Discovers that he is the king's lost son. He pulled the sword from the stone and rose to become a great king. But this did not please his evil half-sister Morgana, who wished to gain power for herself, so lusted for power. Her efforts eventually led to the use of black magic. However, Arthur and his knights defeated Morgana and banished her to hell before being dragged into hell. She vows to return for the sword as the world is at its worst these days. 12-year-old Alexander went to school late because his mother bullied him on the way to school. He receives a text from his prankster friend who is being bullied by Lance and Kay at school. When Alex learns of this, he rushes to save his friend and orders the two bullies to leave the punters. Alone, Lance then tries to scare Alex and warns him not to pretend to be a hero before leaving the scene. However, as he walked away, Alex jumped on him and punched him repeatedly in front of the other children. The next day, two bullies chase Alex to end the fight from the previous day. Alex is scared, so he rushes to try to escape them, but his escape leads him to a construction site where he is quickly cornered by bullies as they get close to Alex. He stepped back in fear only to fall and pass out. The sight of Alex unconscious scared the two bullies, so they immediately fled the scene as soon as they left. Alex wakes up and discovers a sword embedded in a rock while exploring the area. He eventually took it off and took it with him for the time being. Morgana woke up in the underworld and felt the sword being drawn by the new king. She uses her dark magic to order vines to discover the person holding the sword on the way home. Alex called the punters to show him the sword afterwards. Decoding what was engraved on the sword, they realized that it was King Arthur's sword Excalibur, but they did not take it seriously, and instead, Alex took the sword and joked that the knights attacked were other. Merlin, now looking like a boy, senses the sword has been discovered and leaves. In town searching for the person who now possesses the sword, he goes to Alex's school, where he pretends to be a student to get closer to Alex. In the meantime, he hears from a teacher that an eclipse is approaching in 4 days, which drives him to panic. He later storms into the cafeteria to tell Alex that he knows he drew Excalibur out and that Morgana will return. When the eclipse occurs, however, this only causes other kids in the cafeteria to harass him and throw things at him. Later that night, Morgana sends a demon to kill Alex. After seeing the demon, Alex runs to find his mom, who is nowhere to be seen. Seeing no other option, he rushes to get Excalibur and tries to fight the demon, only for the demon to fling the sword away in seconds. Just when the demon is about to attack our new king, Merlin uses his power to destroy it. Following this, Merlin immediately leaves in his owl form, since it is dangerous for him to be in the mortal realm after sunset. Before leaving, he hands Alex a fried chicken restaurant flyer and tells him to meet him there the next day. The next day, Alex and Betters visit the restaurant to find Merlin. Afterwards, Merlin explains to the boys how Morgana intends to return and enslave everyone. Additionally, he tells them that Morgana's demon will appear to steal the sword after sunset, and that during this time all mortal souls other than Alex and his knights will disappear. Young Alex becomes terrified upon hearing all of this and tells the wizard that he is only a 12-year-old boy and cannot take the duty of saving everyone. When the boys try to leave, Merlin transforms into his older self and shows them a vision of what would happen to Britain if Morgana were to succeed in obtaining the sword. As a result, Alex finally understands that he is the chosen one and that the world needs saving. After this, the boys return to the construction site where Alex had found the sword. Surprisingly, Lance and Kay also show up there and begin making fun of Alex while demanding the sword. As a response, Alex, however, goes and puts the sword back in the stone. Then he tells the two bullies that if they are unable to pull it out, they must allow him to knight them. The two bullies agree to it since they believe it to be a joke and that they will ultimately be the one to win in the bet. To their surprise, the pair fails to draw the sword, so Alex commands them to kneel before eventually knighting them. In the meantime, Morgana's demon rises from the ground and begins to attack them. Lance first takes Excalibur and tries to defend himself, but the demon takes no time to overpower him. Seeing this, Alex rushes over to help him, and then they all run away in an attempt to escape from the monster. As they try to escape, they notice that there is no one on the street, which confuses Lance and Kay. Soon, They saw 3 demons chasing them, so they stole a car to escape. Even though Kay hadn't actually learned to drive, she took the car and managed it to attack and ultimately destroy the demons. As soon as the demons are killed, people reappear, causing massive traffic jams and nearly causing accidents. The 4 go to Lance's house, where Alex explains the whole situation to the 2 bullets. He then says that he is looking to locate his father to Tintagel to learn more about the location of the entrance hell and how to kill Morgana after trying her best. Alex finally convinces them to join him after leaving a message for Alex's mother, and the remaining 3 children catch a bus to Tintagel on the way. Merlin suddenly appears and takes them into a forest to teach them how to fight using his magic in some trees. However, Morgana quickly subdues the trees, and the trees begin to attack the children as they fight the trees. Lance jumped at the chance to get Excalibur for himself, but evil roots soon begin to suck everyone, including him, to the ground after hearing the children's cries for help. Merlin appears on the scene and quickly uses his magic to return the roots to the ground with all his strength, but it drains everything. Merlin's vitality then flees in owl form after reminding Alex that he must fulfill his duty, as Alex finds Lance not guilty of what he just did. He becomes angry and accuses Lance of ruining everything and being a fool, leading to a fight between the 2 of them. And a lake ends with Lance breaking Excalibur as Lance and Kay leave after apologizing for the broken sword. Alex remembered what was written about the Lady of the Lake in the book, and with some hope, he asked the Lady of the Lake to return the sword for him if it really exists. Surprisingly, it works, and a hand appears from the fire carrying a repaired Excalibur. This makes them all happy, and they promise will work together as one and never lie when the sun goes down. The Morgana demons come out to attack us heroes. The demons began to pursue them until they reached the edge of the cliff with no other options left. Alex jumped off the cliff, and his friends hesitantly followed him as the demons jumped down. We see Alex and the kids hiding just below the cliff, revealing that they didn't jump into the ocean. The demons did not realize the trick that caused them to jump into the sea after spending the night in an open fortress. Alex goes alone to Tintagel to find his father. There, he met his aunt, who told him the truth about who his father was. Not the good man his mother described him to be. He doesn't care about his wife and children because he is an alcoholic. She also revealed that it was his mother who gave him the responsibility of hearing all these things, which upset him, and he turned back to feel better. The dejected mercenaries then tried to cheer him up by using a trick he learned from Merlin and convincing him that he was not just desperate because his father was not a great man. Lance, Kay, and Merlin also soon appeared to give Alex more confidence. Riding until they reached the entrance to the underworld. Upon descending there, they were attacked by Morgana's vines, eventually entangling Alex's knights while his friends became entangled in the vines. Alex finally confronts Morgan, after which she tries to convince him, stating that the world is a terrible place and the myths he believes in are all lies. On the other hand, he doesn't mind any of this, causing him to transform into a terrifying flying creature and started attacking him with fire from his mouth. Right after he tricks her into giving Excalibur to her, when Morgana comes to get the sword, he stabs her. As soon as this happens, the building begins to collapse in on itself, causing the children to escape before being trapped under their trust that he completed his mission to kill Morgana. Alex threw the sword to the Lady of the Lake and returned home with his friends. Preparations for battle quickly began, with Alex knighting them all and Merlin and betting on duplicating armor and weapons for the children to use. Then they started creating traps and the like methods of fighting demons. Alex and his companions also teach the other children how to fight, while Merlin advises Alex that he must trap Morgana and kill her while he uses his magic to open a door. The portal traps her in hell to ensure that she will never return. Moments later, a solar eclipse begins, followed by Morgan's demons emerging from the ground. Some of the demons are killed by cars driven by Case and the other children, but are there too many demons? When the demons entered the school, they were ambushed by the students who had been trapped by me. While the students fought the demons, the whole school became chaotic. But Alex quickly realized that the demons, there were so many they could only be captured, so he told all the children to go to the roof while Morgana arrived in her demon form and started attacking the children with fire. Alex and the other children tried to tie her up with rope as Merlin walked towards her in owl form. Morgana threw fire at him, injuring him. When he saw this, Alex ran to check on Merlin while the other children held their fire. Ropes bound Morgana, then he gave him a magic potion of liquefied coke nuggets and ice, which revived him moments later. Merlin, who has become stronger thanks to the potion, uses his powers to open the gate, after which Alex jumps on top of Morgana and finally hit her with Excalibur, ripping her head from her body. She was then pulled into the underworld within seconds, while the other demons disappeared as the sun and the others returned. Everything finally returns to normal when Merlin says goodbye to Alex and the 3 remaining children. The quest asks him if everything is okay because the world is the same. In response, he reminds them that not every battle has to be with demons and that they don't need Excalibur for every battle. This teaches children that they are the only ones who can bring about change in this chaotic world. The film then ends with the Lady of the Lake pulling Excalibur into the water. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.